So you want me to facilitate something for you. I'm going to talk with you about what that means, because far too often there's this assumption that facilitation is some magical art that you can just show up and throw it together and it works great. And I've seen people able to do that, but it's a rare skill and not one that I have. So if you want the results of a well-facilitated workshop, one that has outcomes, actionable outcomes where people have actually taken something and changed something or drafted a decision, or they're ready to go home and start doing something immediately, that means you need to do some work. So I need to understand first what your desired outcome is. And sometimes you don't know. So I have to work with you and interview you and other stakeholders for what is it you're trying to get out of this time together. Then I need to understand what are the taboo subjects, the things I need to be careful of, things that'll be triggers for people, paths that you don't want to go down because you know that will be a rabbit hole. So I need to do some interviews to understand that. Then I need to figure out the physical space you are putting me in. Are we doing this virtually, where I need to come up with far more complex and complicated ways of keeping everybody involved and engaged? Are we doing this in a room, multiple rooms, breakout rooms? Are there walls available that we can write on? Do I need to be able to bring supplies with me? What do I have available to me? So I know what my constraints are. What's our time box? What are we going before and after? What are the chances that our time box is going to get constrained or squished? All sorts of pre-work on that I need to at least take, and then I need to go and noodle. Once I noodle, and normally it's not just me, I prefer never to facilitate alone, I'm going to sit and I'm going to pull out books, ideas, concepts, other techniques I've used in the past, and I'm going to see which ones of these do I think have the best chance of getting us to this outcome. Based on the group size, do I need to diverge and merge? Do I need to come up with breakout strategies? How do I bring those breakouts back together so that people then can bring their feedback back? Putting together a facilitation plan, activities I'm going to run, clear specific instructions, agenda, supplies I need to make that happen, who's going to kind of run what aspects of it, etc. Get together a plan with time boxes and how that's going to run. And that is just the start of it. Normally for a 1-hour workshop, I would expect I'm going to put 2 to 8 hours of work in to getting ready for that thing. And that's assuming I have some familiarity with the people and the subject matter. Once I'm in the room, here's what's happening. I normally will get there at least an hour before everyone else. So I am starting before everyone else, and normally means I will be staying an hour after everyone. Once we're there, trying to kick things off, make sure that we're running the room, establishing working agreements so people know how they're going to be facilitated. The whole time, there's several streams that have to run in my brain. I have the very conscious stream of, here's what we're doing, here's what's happening. Then I have this background process going, looking around the room to read it. Are people engaged or disengaged? Are people uncomfortable with what's being talked about? Have I not heard from people in the room? Are there some unspoken truths so I can see people that maybe have something to say but they're not voicing it? Are people dancing around a subject that we really need to bring to the forefront so we can make progress? I've got that process running. I have another process running to say, am I on a good path? Is this driving us to our outcome, or do I need to pull another strategy out of a book or my experience to lead us where we need to go? And if that's the case, do I need to adjust my times? What's happening here? How do we bring this back on track? So there's all these things going on at the same time, trying to make sure I'm actively running the room while passively absorbing stuff from the room and planning where we need to go next. During all of the breaks you're taking during workshops, where you get to go have a cup of coffee, maybe take a walk around the block, check your email, I and my co-facilitators are huddling. We are discussing what's coming up next, how things are going, what do we need to adjust. Might be setting up the next activity, trying to get things ready for you. All of this, hopefully coming to the end of the day to have some kind of desirable outcome. Once you all are done, I normally end up staying late. I'm putting together post-workshop activities, making sure follow-ups are sent out, things that need to be chased down, maybe doing a quick retrospective with my co-facilitators on things we need to adjust or change or learn, and taking things home from there. I'm laying all this out for you because I want you to understand that facilitation is not something that can be thrown together. Facilitation is difficult. Facilitation takes practice, experience, and a lot of legwork that maybe you never see because it happens before you get into that room. And a lot of it is logistical, which is exhausting, not always the most fun bits and often the most overlooked parts of the work. So please, please, please value your facilitators. Please, please, please give them plenty of time to put together a strategy, because otherwise I've had to do it. They'll be up till 3 a.m. trying to figure out how to run your workshop if they get info last minute. Don't do that to them, because then when they're in the room, they can't run all those processes they need to run to make it work. If you've been in a well-run workshop, you know the difference. Maybe you don't know why it was different. If you are running a meeting, a room with more than 5 people, you need facilitation. You cannot live without it. So value them, thank them, give them the space they need. And if you are a facilitator, I thank you, I notice you, and I appreciate you.